We are on our 4th week of the school year, and I wanted to update you on how things are really going. My name is America, mother to 3, homeschooling in a Charlotte Mason and classical way. Right now I am homeschooling a 3rd grader, a 1st grader, and a kindergartner. So we are well into the school year now. This is our 4th week of school, and so we are getting into the rhythm and the groove of everything. I just wanted to update you and let you know how our year is going so far. So this is an impromptu video. I was not planning on filming today or anything. I'm just turning on my phone and recording a quick video to let you know how things are going. Now, in giving these updates and sharing everything that I've shared about my curriculum so far and what I'm pulling together and what we're using, I am still a person and I am still just looking out for the best interest of my specific children. So I am not married to anything that I have shared or posted before. I am just going to be using what works best for me as the teacher and for my kids as individual learners. Needs and circumstances and situations and so many other things go into picking a curriculum. So just because I have talked highly of a curriculum at one point, I probably still have those feelings and those same opinions, but circumstances or situations have changed and we've had to move to something else. So I just want to say that I am just going to keep picking whatever is best for my children, and that might mean switching things, changing things, and honestly it probably does, especially at the beginning of the year. I don't want to curriculum hop, I don't want to keep picking new resources, but I am after picking the best resource for my child, because that's part of the reason why we homeschool, is so that our children can have the best resources for them specifically. So I'm going to start with our family subjects. Our family subjects are going amazing. Our morning time, our liturgy, they are going so well. We love all of the resources that I've picked. We love all the books. We are almost done with several of them, and they could not be going any better, honestly. Our first couple of weeks of school, we didn't have any of our co-ops running or anything, so we got to really dive into a lot of those resources, and my kids have just been loving them. We have loved the morning time and the memory work that we've been doing. We've especially loved Lillian Trasher, the missionary story that we've been reading. That has been a highlight and a great start to our morning. I decided our first read aloud would be Jungle Book, and we are absolutely loving it. I did not expect to like it this much. I've read Just So stories by Rudyard Kipling in the past, and it actually was a challenging read for me to read out loud for some reason, and I actually opted to listen to it on audiobook. So I was kind of expecting the same level of difficulty in reading the Jungle Book, but it has just been such a delight and a treat. So much fun, such a great book. So we are about halfway through that right now. We're also loving Story of the World and all the history resources that we're using with that. Our USA Day is the only thing that's been a bit clunky because I don't have a structured curriculum for it. It's been a little bit challenging pulling together my studies for each day, but all of the other resources have just been such a delight and a joy. It's been so much fun to see how all of these ideas interact, especially our geography is coming from our missionary story and our history stories. And right now, all of those and our Bible are all happening in Egypt, because in Bible we are studying the Exodus story. So all of these are interacting, all of these ideas are interacting, and I'm watching the science of relations unfold with my children as they learn about all of the ditches and the irrigation systems that people in Egypt used in the past and still use. And we've just recently read about it happening in Lillian Trasher's story. That's not something that I planned to come together as like a unit study or anything like that. It has just been a beautiful unfolding of all of these ideas interacting, and it's been a real fun treat to watch. So I would say the only thing that I would improve for our family studies is finding more structure for our USA Day, particularly the geography studies. We are reading This Country of Ours and supplementing with some Delaire's history books and things like that. That part is going well, but it is just the clunkiness of which state we are studying that particular day. They have loved what we've done so far. We've just done the Northeast region, the New England region, and they've loved that. And they've added all of these states to their must travel list. And they all say they want to grow up or they want to go live in all of these states. So it's having the desired effect of giving them exposure to the states, but it's just been a little bit more difficult for me to pull together than I was anticipating. This year I'm finding that things just really need to be streamlined for me, and that is for a couple of different reasons that I'll share with you now. The real areas of adjustment with the resources that I picked out have been for the grade-based skill content subjects for my kids. So for a couple of different reasons, I needed to go in a stronger phonetic approach for one of my children. So I sent a curriculum by a company, and I'm so grateful for that. So we have been using that, and it requires a lot more time. It is very time intensive. The lessons themselves are good, solid lessons, and there's a lot of variety within the lessons. But we went from doing a reading block of about 20 minutes to a reading block of 40 minutes. And this has been probably the biggest challenge of our homeschool year so far, is trying to help that child along in this more intense curriculum. And it is more teacher intensive, of course, too. But it's what we feel is needed right now as we help this child through this. We were looking into other options like tutoring or things like that, dyslexic centers, or even some online resources for dyslexia, and they are just well out of our budget. And so right now this curriculum is helping and working. It is just very time intensive. And the curriculum that we are using is Pride Reading and Spelling. And so this is a structured literacy program, and this is what we are using, and it has a lot of variety. Like I said, I'm really happy with it. I could do a full curriculum review of this if anyone is interested, but for now, just know we are liking this. It is just time intensive, and it's a big adjustment for us time-wise. We are used to Charlotte Mason lessons that are only 20 minutes long, unless it's an enjoyable read aloud. So this is a big adjustment, but it is what we feel is needed right now. I wanted to jump in and say that I've updated this approach, and I've broken up the lessons into 2 20-minute chunks. I was talking to a friend, and she helped me to have the revelation and the understanding that it would be best for this child if we broke up this work and didn't just plow through a 40-minute lesson. And it's been going so much better because of that. Another big adjustment for my 3rd grader and my 1st grader is math. I had solidly chosen Math Mammoth for my 3rd grade student, and within a couple of days I knew that it was not a good fit for us for this year. Math Mammoth is an incredibly strong program, and I still would recommend it, but there are no frills to it at all. It is really just worksheet based. You can add in some manipulatives if you want, but it is worksheet based. And with the season of homeschooling that we're in for my 3rd grader, we really needed to have some levity and some joy brought into anywhere that we could. So I have added back in Math with Confidence. Now, if you watched my curriculum hits and misses from the previous school year, then I talked about how we stopped using Math with Confidence and switched to Math Mammoth. And now I'm switching from Math Mammoth back to Math with Confidence. Now, I have always thought that Math with Confidence is the best curriculum. I really believe that it is the best on the market for number sense and for hands-on materials. I think the workbook is amazing, the structure of the lessons, the teacher's manual. I really feel like Kate Snow taught me how to homeschool, like how to actually homeschool and teach my child. So I am very fond of this curriculum. Last year, as I was adjusting to having 2 students, the games just felt like way too much. And maybe that's something about the 2nd grade year or something, but the games just felt like too much. Another thing I really love about the curriculum is how it has spiral review, but mastery-based lessons. So the lesson is focused on a mastery-based approach, but the review that she has and the memory work is spiral-based. So I love that mixture, because I do not like a spiral-based math curriculum in its entirety, but I like the spiral review. So I think she does a great job at review. I think she does an amazing job at developing number sense and making problems fit into real life and making them accessible to children. So I really think she has the best curriculum out there, but last year I just could not keep up with the games. This year, because all of our workloads are so different with each of my students, it was time to go back to add some joy and some games back into our curriculum. My son opened up the Math Mammoth workbook several days into the school year, and the look of defeat on his face and the sadness, and he said, "Do I ever get to play games in math again?" And I knew right then We've got to have some joy back into this subject in particular. And I knew that Kate Snow's Math with Confidence was the way to go. This is more workload as well. So Math Mammoth, I would just set a timer for 20 minutes because they don't have structured like days. This whole lesson should be completed on one day. So I would just set a timer for 20 minutes and he would work and then we would be done. This requires about 30 minutes of work. 10 of it or so should be independent, and then 15 to 20 minutes should be teacher and student working together. So this is more work, but I do believe it is the best fit for us right now. For my first grader, we are still using the Abeka programs, and then we have also switched her math because I actually was quite undecided about her math. When choosing what I would use for her for this year, I was bouncing around mentally between Math UC, Math with Confidence, and Singapore Math, Abeka Math, and The Good and the Beautiful. I was really struggling to pick a resource for her just based on a couple of different factors, but I ended up going with Singapore Math. That's what I purchased, and so I started the year with that, and my daughter and I could not have hated that curriculum more. We really despised that curriculum. It just did not work for us. It was so weird. The layout of the teacher's manual was very busy, overwhelming. I felt like I could never find where I was in the teacher's manual. And the questions that it would have me ask her were just so strange and weird that she was like, what? Why are you asking me that? And lots of times I was just skipping most of the things and trying to teach out of the student workbook. So I've switched my first grader over to first grade Math with Confidence. Like I said, I have always felt like that is the best curriculum. I've always believed that has been the best math curriculum, and I wanted to be able to use it. It was more an issue of me as the teacher implementing it. And now I've kind of grown in my philosophy and practicing trying to choose what is best for my children, even when it is the harder choice. And so it is a harder choice for me to have a curriculum where I do need to have things prepped. I do need to be able to play a game and not just push through all of the lessons. But I think it is a good trade-off because I do think it's what's best for my children. And so I'm trying to apply my mother's thinking love, and you're watching it in kind of real time, watching me try to make these decisions. And I'm not coming at any of this thinking that I'm an expert. I'm only just sharing what we are doing right now. And so for now, usually at the beginning of a year, it looks like a lot of changes because you really can't know how a curriculum is going to work for you until you start using it. And so now that we've used a lot of these things, I can tell, okay, this isn't going to work in this area. This doesn't work this year. This worked last year, but it's not going to be good for us this year, and all sorts of things like that. And now moving on to my youngest, I am shocked. I am totally shocked because I really thought he would run out of steam, that he wouldn't want to keep working on all of this kindergarten work. And I have not formally started any type of schooling with my children at this young of an age. He just turned 5 in August, and he is just full on ready for school. I thought after a couple of days he would run out of steam and lose interest, and that would be the end of it until he turned 6. But he wants to do school every single day. He wants more school than what I have prepared, and that has just been unexpected, and it's been more of a workload for me. And that's okay. That's what he wants. That's what's best for him right now. But it was an unexpected workload for me that I've had to add on now. So I've added on for him because I do need something that is more streamlined and just open and go. I don't have time to be prepping any activities. I just need it all right there ready for me. So I have purchased the Good and the Beautiful Preschool course book. And this I am hoping can just teach him his letter sounds in a very systematic way. In this season, when I've got 15 minutes to work with him for the day to fill his cup and make him feel like he is included in the school day and give him the amount of work that he wants, this was the best choice for us for this year. And so we have done a couple of lessons already so far, and we've really liked it. I like the games that they have. But so far I've liked this. It's going to teach him his letter sounds, I hope. It is lovely. He's really enjoying it, and we're getting that one-on-one time that he is craving, and he's feeling like he is a part of the school day because he is a part of the school day with this worked in. So there you have it. That's what's working for us right now. That's what's not working for us. Some of the major adjustments that I've made from picking out my resources at the beginning to what we have now. Things are going well. The workload is just a lot more for me this year. That's okay. That is just God calling me to something more. He is helping me. He is sanctifying me. Everything is for its purpose. So I am trusting in Him, but it is a lot and I am feeling the weight of all of it. But I'm also trusting in God that this is exactly where He has me right now. But I know that things are going to develop more into a rhythm. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. I hope you enjoyed this brief, quick update, and I'll see you in the next one.